Hey guys, welcome to Toomey Presents. Today I want to talk about bootlegs versus piracy. Now, I have a big stance on this, and people know I'm just not a fan of piracy. Now, to say I've never used it in the past is hypocritical. Everybody of a certain age has downloaded something off the internet at some point. I am not knocking people who do it, but what I'm saying is if I can give money back to an industry, with how I'm running the YouTube channel now, I'm always going to choose to put money back into that industry. So I am going to say I buy officially. Now, there is a big difference between piracy and bootlegs. Piracy is when you're downloading the movie that you have not purchased and you are viewing it and putting it wherever on discs and you are burning it yourself. You have not paid for it, you do not own it, you have basically stolen that. So that is how I view piracy. Now, all piracy is not the same. There are certain times where a movie is just not available. Like the original Star Wars trilogy. That has not been available since pre-97. Now, they did do a special limited edition release in 2006 that were packed in with the DVDs, but that was a transfer from a Laserdisc from 1993. So in which case, I don't see Despecialized or 4K77 or any of the other fan edits as piracy. I see that as preservation. That's where I see that. But where I see certain things of like, oh, well, I can get this brand new movie and I'm not going to pay for anything, I see that as kind of problematic. If it's a really good movie, I will go and see it. Or likewise, if I do want to see it, I'll wait for it to come to Blu-ray and I'll get it on sale and it'll be in my collection for one day when I choose to view it. That's how I see piracy. I don't like to go towards piracy. Now, well, let's talk about bootlegs, because bootlegs are something completely different. They are nowhere related to piracy. I mean, some people say, oh, but I'm burning it to a disc and putting it in the cover and blah. So it must be piracy. If that is piracy, but it's not a bootleg. Yeah, it's a bootleg copy of whatever, but the way I view bootlegs and how I describe bootlegs is like, hey, you have went out, and I'm going to talk about bootleg covers in this. So there are bootleg DVDs and that are not official, and that is basically, I'll consider that piracy. What I would consider a bootleg is if you've went out and bought the Nightmare on Elm Street on Blu-ray or 4K or whatever, and then you said, you know what, I don't like the cover. I don't like how they packed all A Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't like how they packed them all in that one cover. I'm sure it's down the bottom in horror somewhere. It might be over here, actually. Where is it? There it is. I had two versions of this. So this is from my original collection. This one is from, I picked it up again, but, you know, A Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't like that everything is in that one cover. I don't like how they've just shoved every movie in one pack. That really annoys me. So I'll put that back down there. Where did I get this from? I got that from there, I believe. We will organize my collection, keep it nice and clean, you know? There we go, back in its place. I like everything nice and organized. But, you know, I wouldn't consider this I'll consider this a bootleg cover, but it's an official copy. That is an official disc from Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers got paid to put that disc in my hand. I have paid them to have that in my collection or wherever I bought it from. But I have printed my own covers for that. I have replicated the original artwork for that one. And for these ones, I put them like back to back. Now I could put these in Blu-ray covers. I could put these in whatever. I've got them in DVD covers because I don't really think I need to have these in anything other than DVD covers. I feel like one disc has come loose in there, so I'm just going to check that disc. Yeah, it's come loose. That's not great, but it's not damaged, so that's a good sign. Let's put that in there. And that's the thing with some things. They sometimes come loose. But this is not a pirate. This is a bootleg cover for an official release. I believe once you've bought the disc and the company's been paid to put it out, once it's in your hands, do as you please with the covers. I don't care. Like, just pay the company first. They've put the effort in, they've restored it, whatever they've done. Even if it's a bad restoration, you've still paid them. That's why I'm like, if you're going to go and download 4K77, buy the official release first. Buy the original trilogy on 4K, the latest release, and then do as you please. If you're going to download it then, say, oh, well, you know, the version that I thought was on those discs wasn't on those discs. I am downloading this, but I have given money to the Disney company. I've given money to Lucasfilm, you know. I am a fan of, okay, that can be justified because you have given money. Money has been transferred. Disney's been paid for their efforts. And you have said, I don't prefer that edition. I want to have this edition. And as long as you've bought that one, I would say there's no problem with it. But as I said, I'm all about supporting the industry. I like to see money going back into an industry. So as I said, I've bought the official discs and I've put them into bootleg covers or like custom covers that I've created. I like that one. I really tried to replicate the artwork of the original, but yeah, we'll put those down in the corner here. We'll put them over here for a moment. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I view it kind of very differently. I view it like bootlegs and piracy is very different. And likewise, like unofficial covers, if you don't like a cover, like I've spoke previously about steelbooks, and when I look at steelbooks, I look at them as, yeah, they're great. Don't get me wrong, some artwork is very good. I just want the option of being able to choose, okay, I don't want the steelbook, so I want to get Thor Love and Thunder on a slipcover so I can change it out. Or I want to be able to change the artwork. I want to be able to take the discs out of something and put it in something else. And also, if I want to keep it as like maybe an insert, you know, I like the options. So I look at that as like, yeah, if you've bought the disc, you do what you need to with that disc. And yeah, obviously keep aware of copyright and all that stuff. You know, everyone that tells you, be aware of it. But also say, hey, I bought the official disc. Always support the official release. Like, every time when Dragon Ball, what's it called? Dragon Ball Z Abridged was on YouTube, they'd always say, this is not, like, affiliated with Akira Toriyama, and please support the official release. Go out and buy Dragon Ball Z. Then watch us. You're like, you know, that's the whole point. Everyone wants to see more content coming out of studios, especially with Dragon Ball. Everyone wants to see more content. So I'm always like, okay, let's get the original creators paid first, and let's get money going into the industry. Like, there's one I bought for, I think, 70, 80 bucks or something. Demolition Man. Never seen it. But that artwork, that box is really cool. I think, what is it? It's Arrow? Yeah, it's Arrow Video. So I got that, and, you know, that's a pretty cool collector's piece. But I also believe, hey, if you don't like the standard cover on something, let's say it's just kind of boring, you should be able to print your own and say, hey, I've bought the official release, I'll do it as a slipcover to put over the top of the DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. But you should have that option. If you have bought an official release and said, I'm giving money back to this company, that's where I view it. I believe bootlegs are not the worst thing. I believe they have a place, and, you know, unofficial custom covers, there's nothing wrong with those. I believe it's pretty cool. But as I said, I just believe, like, and where I stand on streaming, I'll have to do the streaming part. If you're paying for a streaming service and you cannot watch it in your preferred method, like let's say Netflix, you buy the 4K, whatever, you get the top Netflix plan, but you want to watch Queen's Gambit on a disc, then I would say it's murky, but I would say maybe you can download it, but you would have to delete that download at the end of the month when your subscription ends. And if you burn it to a disc, just be aware that if you were going to keep that disc in your collection, maybe keep a recurring fee to Netflix if you must, but at least you have the option. I believe Netflix should have an option to download. You have it on a hard drive, whatever you want to watch. If you're paying for a subscription, you should be able to do what you want for the month. I should be able to download it wherever I'm at and say, hey, I'll store it raw and I don't have internet. And yeah, you can do it within the app, but I believe it should be like a time thing. Like, have it like a time thing on your phone, let it go off the cell network or whatever. And if you don't have a cell connection, obviously that's a problem. But, you know, there's ways to do this. But, yeah, I think there's multiple ways to look at bootlegs and piracy and custom covers and unofficial stuff. I just have a big sort of stance on, as long as money's going into the industry, as long as people are getting paid for restoring and putting it out there, then I don't have a big problem with bootleg covers or keeping, like, you know, just make sure you pay someone, make sure you put money into the industry. Yeah, you might not like the movie, then go and see it at the cinemas or see it on HBO or whatever. Like, you know, just rent it then. Like, I just have a stance on stealing movies. I just don't like that. I don't like when someone says, I'm just going to download everything. I don't like that. I like, if I like a movie, like, I might not like, I haven't seen it yet, but I might not like the new Captain America Brave New World. But I want to see it, and I'm going to go and put money into it to see what they have done. That doesn't mean, like, yeah, if I hate it, I'm still going to keep the Marvel collection going because I got the Marvel collection. But I have the option of, like, okay, I didn't like it, so I might wait for a sale, or I might wait for something else. But I'm always giving money back for something in my collection. I'm always trying to look after the industry. Like, I have worked in the film industry. I worked on Last Cab to Darwin. I worked on An Indian, which was Brett Lee's first acting role in a major film. There is a lot of things, like, I've worked in the industry, but I also believe I should give back to the industry. And, people say this is insane, but I also believe there is a certain level of, you can do whatever you want on the internet. I get it. There's everything out there on the internet. But I'm a fan of, if you like something, just pay for it. And yes, if it's overpriced, wait for a sale. If it's too overpriced for the 4K, buy the Blu-ray, buy the DVD, buy something that is within your range that you would enjoy. And you might say, but I don't want to enjoy the DVD. I want to enjoy the 4K. Why would I pay anything for a DVD? Well, this is the question. So you're going to go out and download it, and you might say, oh, I loved this, but I'm not going to buy it. What gives the companies incentive to make a part 2 or make a second season? Like, I want Squid Game on Blu-ray. If Squid Game came out on Blu-ray, season 1 and season 2, I would be all over that. I'll be buying it. Same with Queen's Gambit. But if they don't see numbers going into these companies, they're not going to make a season 2. They're going to say, oh, well, that was a fail. Let's not do that one ever again. I believe money needs to go back into the industry to keep it healthy, but also, if there's something I don't agree with, I won't watch it. I don't think I've ever watched an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, It's just not my show. I did watch Jersey Shore back in the day when I was a teenager, though. I will say I watched that. That was hilarious. And I haven't watched any of the newer stuff, but, back when it first came on the scene, that was hilarious, because it was just like, I'm telling you, that the way that culture of the time was hilarious just to watch. But you know what I'm saying, I believe just keep money going into the industry. If you don't agree with it, don't watch it. Don't get a subscription if you don't want to watch something. But if you're going to download it, maybe consider buying it on iTunes. Like, do it some way, or rent it on iTunes so they can at least say people are interested. And, that's where I want to end it, because I feel like I'm going to go down another rabbit hole here. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Let me know what you think about the debate. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And I'll put a couple of videos at the end of this video if you want to watch from both of my other channels. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.